What's up, y'all? It's your girl Veronica, and I'm back with another video. Actually, it's Veronica and Sam, but that's all right. He insists on joining us. We'll go ahead and take it. But today I am going to be talking to you about what a project manager actually does. We get this question all the time, and it makes sense because a project manager has so many different kind of hats that they wear, and you can be a project manager in any industry like finance, marketing, real estate, healthcare, tech. Like it's all over the place, but at our very core there are some basic things that we do, and that's what I'm going to be sharing with you today. But before I get started, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you like this video, please, in advance. That's fine. And consider joining our project management community located at the link in our bio. Okay. Project managers obviously manage projects, but you might be asking yourself, like, what does that constitute? A project is an undertaking that has a designated scope of work, meaning we have a goal that we're trying to achieve. It has a designated start date and it has a designated end date. Okay. A lot of the times these projects are going to involve a lot of different people. Those people that are impacted by our project, we call our stakeholders, okay? Anybody who is impacted by our work or perceives themselves to be impacted by our work is our stakeholder. You may be asking, does a project manager have a boss? Who's giving them instructions? That is the sponsor. That is the person or entity that is financing the project. Okay, they're the ones who got the scope approved. They're the ones who came up with the money, right? So technically, if we're gonna say we have a boss, it's gonna be our sponsor because they are the ones sponsoring the project that we're working on. Okay, so let's say that we have been given a project by our sponsor to make 1,000 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Okay, and we have 30 days to make 1,000 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Well, we can't, as an individual, make 1,000 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Okay, it's not going to happen. So we bring together a team of individuals to help us. All right. As a project manager, you are managing your project team. Okay, there's no way around it. You're not a people manager, you're an individual contributor. Chill, bro. But you do end up kind of managing people in one way or another, and your project team we refer to as your resources. Okay, so you're gonna have resources on your team that are helping you, and they're the ones who are actually doing a lot of the legwork, and you are managing the logistical pieces in the background. Okay, a lot of the times project managers are building schedules, they're organizing resources, they're trying to maximize the dollars that they have in their budget. They're also doing report outs. You're going to be presenting a lot about your status and the status of the project to your stakeholders and to your sponsor. If you had to go and find an organization to provide the peanut butter for you for your sandwiches, or find an organization to provide the bread or the jelly, we would refer to those organizations as our vendors, right? So you're going to be communicating with your vendors as well. And that's the type of work that you're going to be engaged in. That's what we're most known for, okay? But there's a lot of intricacies involved in that, right? You are having to communicate with all of these parties. You're having to organize all of these parties. You're having to make sure that you can get your peanut butter on time, get your jelly on time. You have to ask yourself what makes sense to have first. Is it the peanut butter or the jelly, or is it the bread? You have to make sure that you have enough peanut butter that's going to be able to cover the size of the bread that you have. You have to think about what kind of bread it's going to be. Is it brioche? Is it sourdough? Is it white bread? Is it wheat bread? All of these types of things are the things that you're going to be thinking about, right? And a lot of the time, if you're not thinking about them, you have to make sure that your team is thinking about them. And you may have a group of bread experts on your team, peanut butter experts on your team, jelly experts on your team. And this can also be complicated because the bread expert doesn't know the same thing as the peanut butter expert. The peanut butter expert doesn't know the same thing as the jelly expert. But it's part of your role to bring these groups together and to make sure that they are sharing information so that the project can be successful. Okay? You, at your core, outside of being an organizer and a facilitator, are a translator. Okay? Because you are going to be constantly translating information between your subject matter experts and your stakeholders and your sponsor and your vendors. That is what you are going to be doing most often while you're facilitating the success of this project. Okay, so it's going to be a lot of communication, a lot of engaging with people, a lot of managing risk. Okay, that's another big thing that project managers do. For instance, if there's been a bunch of salmonella outbreaks at different peanut factories, we know that there's a risk that it could hit our peanut butter vendor, right? So we're having to manage around that. Like, do we need to have extra funds for contingency? Do we need to have a backup vendor just in case our peanut butter vendor gets hit with salmonella outbreak, right? Like, you are managing all of those types of things. You're not doing it alone. You're doing it in tandem with your subject matter experts and your resources, your project team, right? And a lot of the time you're going to be working closely with your stakeholders as well. But those are the types of things you have to think about, right? Sometimes you get to choose your own project team. Other times, your resources are assigned to you. You don't get to choose. Okay, it depends on how your organization is structured. Sometimes you're going to go through a bid process to help select who your vendors are. Other times, your organization is going to say, we already have a list of approved vendors. You get to pick from these people, or they're going to say, we already picked for you. Okay, so this is the reason why it's hard to explain what a project manager does, because there's a lot of variation in the role, okay? But at your core, you are facilitating the success of the project by managing your team, managing your stakeholders, managing your vendors, managing your sponsor, right? And making sure the work gets completed on time, in budget, in scope, and meets whatever the quality requirements are, okay? If you're an organized person who likes to engage with people, you're passionate about the work that you do, right? And you're not intimidated by the things that I just listed off, then you may be a good candidate to be a project manager. And if I missed anything about what a project manager does, please drop it in the comments. Share with other people who are considering jumping into this role. Okay, if you found value in this video, please like and subscribe, share the video. I'm trying to get to 10,000 subscribers. I'm at 3,444 right now. And consider joining our school group, our community. The link is going to be in my bio. Until then, I'll see you guys next time.